Part 1 of When Mother Lets Us Cook. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. This reading by Kara Schallenberg. When Mother Lets Us Cook, a book of simple recipes for little folk, with important cooking rules in rhyme, together with handy lists of the materials and utensils needed for the preparation of each dish. By Constance Johnson. Copyright 1916. Part 1. Preface. To make something that we can eat. Surely it is always delightful to do this, and never quite so nice as when it is a stormy day and one is, well, 10 or 12 years old. My aim has been to give in this little book a few simple rules and recipes which may serve as a beginning and help small folks to have their fun without troubling mother and the cook too much. Yet I trust that these directions may prove useful to them even when they are grown-up housekeepers. The selection is made with a view to economy and a child's diet. Things to have: tablespoons, teaspoons, measuring cup, bowls, plates, knives, all polished up, egg beater, lifting knife, baking tin, saucepans, breadboard, rolling pin, a double boiler, a chafing dish, a wooden spoon I know you'll wish, a flour sifter, a cutter too, a clock to show when the cooking's through, an apron to do the cooking in, and hands scrubbed clean before you begin. The Witch's Test. Put eggs in cold water to test them for food. If they float, they are bad. If they sink, they are good. And some people say that an egg is all right if you hold it up close to a flame that is bright, and look through it endwise, and still see a light. Boiled eggs. Fresh eggs, boiling water, saucepan. Never boil eggs that are not perfectly fresh. Cook them some other way. Put your fresh eggs, with their shells on, into a deep saucepan. Fill the saucepan with water that is actually boiling, and see that the eggs are covered. Take the pan from the stove and cover it. It may be brought to the dining-room table, and the eggs will cook until you are ready to eat them. Boiled eggs are better cooked in water that does not continue to boil, but be sure that the water is boiling hard when first poured over the eggs. 3 minutes will be enough for soft-boiled eggs, 15 for hard. Serve at once in a covered dish, or wrapped in a clean table napkin. Boiled rice. 1 cup rice, 3 quarts boiling water, 1 teaspoonful salt, measuring cup, sieve, teaspoon, deep saucepan, fork. Measure 1 cupful of rice. Pick it over carefully so that there will be no yellow grains or specks of dirt left in it. Then put the rice into a sieve or strainer and wash it. You can do this under the kitchen faucet, or by pouring a pitcherful of cold water over the rice. Put 3 quarts of hot water into a deep saucepan on the stove. The pan should have a cover. And when the water boils, pour in the rice very slowly, and add 1 teaspoonful of salt. Stir it a few times with a fork, and then put the cover on the pan, and let the rice boil hard for about 20 minutes, or until it is soft. Try a little with a fork when you think it is done. Drain the water off by pouring rice and all into your sieve. This is the best way to cook rice. Jelly warm-over. 3 tablespoons currant jelly, cold beef or mutton, pepper and salt, French mustard, saucepan or chafing dish, spoons. If you have any cold beef or mutton left over from yesterday, cut it into rather thick slices. Take your saucepan and put it on a hot part of the stove. Put in your saucepan 1 heaping tablespoonful of butter, and as soon as it is melted, add a half teaspoonful of salt and a pinch of red pepper, mixing it well with a spoon. If you like, add 1 teaspoonful of French mustard. Stir into this 3 generous tablespoonfuls of currant jelly. When it is all smoking hot and well mixed, add your slices of meat. Cook for a few more minutes until the meat is heated through and has absorbed some of the sauce. Serve in a hot dish at once. Be sure to pour all the jelly sauce over the meat. Milk rule. For cooking milk, 2 rules I tell. Milk quickly burns, so stir it well, or cook it in a double pot. It curdles where the stove's too hot. Cream sauce for all sorts of things. 1 tablespoonful flour, 1 tablespoonful butter, 1 cupful milk, 1 teaspoonful salt, 1/4 teaspoonful pepper, saucepan or chafing dish, spoon, measuring cup. Put 1 tablespoonful of butter into a saucepan and put the saucepan on the stove. When the butter is melted, add 1 tablespoonful of flour. Stir every minute, for it burns easily. When the butter and flour are frothy and well mixed, pour in 1 cup of milk or cream, drop by drop, stirring with the other hand. Do this quickly, but be very careful not to let any lumps form. The stirring is to prevent this, and also to keep the sauce from burning. Cook it till it boils up, and then stir in 1 teaspoonful of salt and 1/4 teaspoonful of pepper. The sauce is now ready for use. This is enough for a dish for 3 people. It can be used with warmed over meats, fish, toast, or sliced hard-boiled eggs. Scrambled eggs for 3. 5 eggs, 1 cup milk, 1 tablespoonful butter, 1 teaspoonful salt, ½ teaspoonful pepper, egg beater, saucepan or chafing dish, teaspoon, tablespoons. Break 5 eggs into a bowl, being careful not to drop in any shells. Add 1 teaspoonful of salt and ½ of pepper. Beat for 1 minute with an egg beater. Add 1 cup of milk and beat a little longer. Have a saucepan, you can also use a chafing dish, on a hot part of the stove. Put into it 1 tablespoonful of butter and let it melt. Pour in the mixture and stir slowly. Pretty soon the egg will begin to stick to the bottom of the pan. Keep scraping it off as you stir. When most of the mixture is thick and lumpy, the scramble is done. Do not let it get hard. Serve right away on hot plates. It is very nice to have some hot slices of toast ready, and pour the mixture over them. Apple sauce. Apples, sugar, butter, spices, saucepan, sharp knife, apple corer, strainer or sieve, bowl. Choose some nice hard cooking apples, core them, and peel them with a sharp knife. Cut them in quarters, and lay these in a deep saucepan. Sprinkle the apples with granulated sugar, allowing 1 cup for 6 good-sized apples, and add to this 2 tablespoonfuls of mixed spices, cloves, cinnamon, ginger, and so forth. If you do not like spices, you need not put this in. Pour into the saucepan 1 cup of cold water, and set the pan on a warm part of the stove. The apples should cook for about 15 minutes, until they are quite soft and the water is partly boiled away, leaving a syrup. Take a coarse sieve or strainer, put 1 tablespoon of butter in the bottom of it, and strain the apple sauce into a bowl. Push it through the strainer with a spoon if necessary. Set the bowl in a cool place, and serve the apple sauce cold, with milk or cream. Ready rule. This rule above all others heed. Have ready everything you need. Before you start, be sure to read the whole recipe, then work with speed. Stewed fruits. When stewing fruits, do not let them boil hard. They should only simmer. Cover the fruit with cold water, and add sugar if the fruit is sour. The saucepan should be put at the back of the stove, and the fruit cooked until tender. This often takes from 2 to 3 hours. Never use tin pans to cook fruit. Stewed prunes. 1 pound prunes. Saucepan. Put your prunes into an agate saucepan and cover